Good afternoon and happy holidays to the entire MonaVie family. I'm Paul Muehlman, your Chief Marketing Officer, and I'm here today with our CEO, Mauricio Ballora, to discuss a number of topics concerning the MonaVie business. Well, and specifically to address a letter from Randy Schrader that has been sent to many of our distributors. Now, Randy asked that the letter be kept secret. For what reason, I'm not really sure, but thankfully, the letter was forwarded to us. In it, Randy makes a number of accusations concerning the state of the company that I would like to ask Mauricio about and have him respond to. You know, we often hear in this industry that the truth is the truth and it's good enough. And this discussion today is not to discredit Randy in any way, but rather to shed light on the truth for the benefit of all our distributors, many of whom came to MonaVie with the promise from Randy that permanent income requires permanent commitment. And therefore they believed that Randy was with MonaVie for the long term. Unfortunately, Randy has chosen to leave us and leave what is now his fourth company. So let's welcome in now our CEO, Mauricio Ballora, or as I like to call him, Mo. Is it okay for me to call you Mo on camera?
You call me Mo every day, I don't see why not.
Well, Mo, I got a number of things that I'd like you to react to, some questions I'd like to ask you, and really help our distributors understand the state of the business here at MonaVie. Okay? So the first off is this accusation that the company is saddled with debts that it cannot pay. What is your response to that, Mo?
Well, first of all, happy holidays. Listen, I mean, most of our distributors know that we have a note with a partner. It's called TSG. This note has been there for several years. So yes, we have that with them, and but it's not creating any problem in the short term. As a matter of fact, we decided together with our partners last year. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was by October last year, that we will stop paying any interest in order to refocus the money to turn around the company. And that's what we've been doing. So, yeah, we have a debt, we have a note that has been there for a while, but there's nothing wrong with it, and there's not creating any real problem for the last year or so.
So that was a joint decision between us and the note holder.
Absolutely. There's no other way to make that kind of a decision. You cannot just unilaterally decide not to pay. I mean, and as a matter of fact, what we decided is to redirect the money to the right place. And I have to say thanks to our partner, because that was a very good decision from their side, and also from our side. So no, that is not true. And as a matter of fact, there's only one note holder, so it's not. What term did you use about?
It said that we've been saddled with debts that we cannot pay.
Well, that's not true.
Okay, excellent. You know, the second issue that's raised is that the debt has caused us to make compensation plan changes, which render MonaVie's plan non-competitive. How do you react to that statement?
I don't know how to, as a matter of fact, because let me talk about the comp plan changes. You know, I arrived here 2 years ago, and up to that moment, we had several comp plan changes, several. Which I was not participant. And even though I know what those changes were, and I never saw any relationship between that or with the comp plan changes. I mean, totally.
Between the debt and the comp plan, there wasn't
no link, as I understand it. Since I came here, we made one comp plan change.
That was last January, right?
Yeah, actually, it was effective February the 1st.
In February, that's right.
Correct. And that was the last comp plan change we made, except for one country, which is Italy, that has nothing to do with anything else than the law in Italy. That the law in Italy forces us, say it some way, to have some comp plan definitions that are a little bit different than the rest of the world. But that again is to comply with the law, nothing else than that. I cannot react to your question because there's no link between one thing and another. And as a matter of fact, we have not changed the comp plan in the last year.
In the last year. And those comp plan changes that were made a year ago were in conjunction with our distributor advisory board. They were for business reasons.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, that's a good question, because the comp plan, and one of our founders have been working on that before he left his position as a CEO. He decided to be the chairman of the board at that time only. Now we know that they stepped down the board, but at that time they were the chairman of the board. And they worked a lot with some major distributors of our company to make that change. And that change was it was trying to help the big distributors, the guys who were making a lot of money, but also had a lot of businesses internationally, to incentivize them to go and work internationally. That's pretty much what it was. And definitely it was, directed by our founder and our main distributors, and was accepted by the board, which, by the way, Randy Schroeder was a member of.
Excellent. So the next accusation is that the company is teetering on insolvency. And therefore, because we're teetering on insolvency, that we are deceiving both our existing distributors and potential participants, potential distributors coming into the business.
Well, I know that we never skip a payment. We have no debts other than the note that we just talked about. We paid our distributors weekly. We paid our suppliers on the due dates. We pay our employees. I don't understand what you're talking about, really. I mean, no. I mean,
so the company is strong, it's healthy, we're moving forward.
Listen,
with great hope for 2015.
Absolutely, the company needs to be managed, and this is what sometimes creates some confusions. When you manage a company, the first thing you need to know is when and to what to say no. There's some things you have to say no. Money is not infinite. You have a certain amount of money. And obviously there's always much more opportunities than the opportunity to make it happen. So my job, your job as a CMO, the job of Katie as a president of North America, and the job of every single employee or manager or anybody has a leadership position in this company, is to prioritize and decide what to say yes and what to say no. I know that in the past we were famous to say, because we used to say yes to everything or anything. And that is not, I'm not being clear enough. It's not a good practice. This is not good for the company, not good for the distributors. Our distributors, you, our family, you need a CEO and a CMO and a team that knows where and when to spend the money. So if some distributors or some people have the impression that we are insolvent just because we're saying no, we are not expanding in this, well, I am so sorry, because really that is a symptom of maturity, not a symptom of insolvency. I mean, we want for this company for the future, for the, I don't know how many years to come. So we have to be very responsible in how we spend the money. And yes, sometimes people say, why are you spending with me or in my project? Well, because it's not part of our priority, and I'm sorry, but that's the way it is, and it's going to be. If you want to call that insolvency, well, you have to rewrite Wikipedia, because that is not insolvency. That is maturity, that is responsibility, that is my fiduciary obligation as a CEO to my creditors, to my board of directors, to my shareholders, to my employees, and to my distributors, obviously my clients. So please, let's use the right words in the right place.
Excellent. So Mo, do you believe that the company, that MonaVie, is a place where distributors' income can still be based upon widespread success of others? Is it still a good place to build a long-term business?
Well, those are two questions, Paul, in one, actually. Let me address the first one first.
Okay.
Is this a place where the money is coming from the success of others? The answer is there's no other way. one of the things I like about this industry is that the only way you can be successful is if others are. You cannot be successful alone, unless you have cut a special deal or something like that. But let's say you're doing things the right way. You don't have any bonus or a special deal or, I don't know, up rank or all the things that we know that could happen. If you don't have that, the only way you make money is if your team makes money or have success, right? Obviously, everything is linked with your expectations. I mean, you're going to make a lot of money and could be little for you or a lot. That's about your expectations. But really, the only way to make money here is if others make money or others have success. Now, I don't know any other way to do it. So I really don't know how to answer that question, other than saying that's the only way that could happen. Now, then you said, is this a place for people to stay long term? Well, that's exactly what we want. In what we are doing, creating a company for the long term. You might be very aware of companies that stay in the marketplace for 3-5 years. It's like the huge peak, and it goes up like crazy and then it goes down like crazy. And it's very frustrating, and that's how you get people jumping from one company to another. And what you get there is a very, very few amount of leaders making some money or a lot of money, and a lot of them that get deceived, and a lot of them that get frustrated, and they have the wrong expectations, and they thought they could be millionaires in a week. That doesn't happen, at least legally, and then people get frustrated, and that's how our industry, Paul, have been bad mouth for a long time. Well, you know that we are launching officially Mint finally in the U.S., and we are
January 9th, right? We have a big
January 9th, exactly, in Vegas.
7th to the 9th, right?
Exactly, and we already launched it in Brazil. We were together there. That was in September last year.
September.
And Mint is all about long term. Mint is all about recruiting with retention. Mint is all about recruiting with the right expectations. Mint is all about having a huge, massive customer base. And Mint is all about having the products priced at the right price. Pricing the products to the market, to the market, meaning not just the MLM market, to the market itself. So we are creating now definitely a house for the long term, better and more than ever. So it was a good place to be, and it's going to be a much better place to be, and it is now a much better place to be.
Fantastic. So Mo, I wish you'd take just a minute to talk about our current sales and the accusation that the sales are rapidly declining.
Okay. I think the use of the tense is wrong, because sales are not declining. Sales have declined in the past. The biggest jump in negative, right? That we had was
the biggest decline.
Yeah, biggest decline was in 2012, as a matter of fact. 2013, we had a decline, but during 2014, we are stabilizing. I mean, whenever you are in a turnaround situation, when you have a company that does this, what we were talking before, a peak and then it starts to go down, the first thing you're looking for is stabilizing. That's what you need. And we have a very complex company because we have 44 countries out there. So you cannot stabilize everything at the same time. It's very complicated, and you know that. So our focus was in stabilizing 5 places: China, Brazil, US, Europe, and Japan. And we've been saying that. And as a matter of fact, that not only that happened, but China is growing. And then we have other countries like Korea, for example.
You mean Greater China?
I mean Greater China, yes.
Right.
And especially Korea is showing a good growth in the past 6-7 months. Now, we are opening China now, officially. We had a official opening.
Our office in Shanghai.
Exactly.
December 22nd, I think it was.
Correct.
Right. And officially starting business there in April.
Correct.
I think is the date, right?
Correct. Europe is stabilized. There's some countries went a little bit up, some others a little bit down, but that's the way you manage a portfolio. I mean, we have almost 30 countries in Europe, and it's a portfolio management. So one day you go up in Italy, a little bit down in Czech Republic, and well, that's normal. But as a whole, has been stabilized. U.S., which is obviously our largest market, and has been always our largest market, is stabilized for the last 9 months. Never happened before in the last 5 years. And we are growing in new distributors. Here in the U.S., I'm sorry. Brazil, in the last 5 weeks, we have a huge growth. I mean, about 50% growth. We know that this is because of mint, and probably it's going to be like a rapid growth, and then we expect a more soft growth, if you want, which is very good, and that's what we want, because we prefer a sustainable growth than something that does like this and like this. So Brazil has been stabilized and growing. U.S., as I said, stabilized. Europe stabilized. China, Greater China, growing. Korea, especially, and Hong Kong are growing a lot. And Japan declined a bit at the beginning of the year, and now is stabilized again for at least 7-8 months. So the answer is no. They declined in the past, yes, and we can have a full interview about why that happened, and it's a long story. But thanks to the work of my team, and also to our distributors, the ones that are active, that are working, that believe what we're doing, this is getting better every day.
Fantastic. So there's the thought out there, the accusation that the company has stopped product development and that where there is no continued product development going on. Can you respond to that?
Yeah.
What do we know about product development here?
Well, I do not know if we launched more new products in a year than this year. In the US, we launched Core and all the Boost.
So the 2 shakes and then the Boost.
The 2 shakes and the Boost that it totalized like 6 or 7 products. We are launching more products in the US now in Vegas in January 7th to 10th. So it's going to totalize in 12-month period, about 12-month period, like 9 products in the US.
Well, we also launched the 2 new flavors of EMV.
You're right. Plus the 2 new flavors of EMV. So 11 products.
And rebranded the whole line.
Plus the rebranding. And the important thing is that the products that we already launched in the US are priced right, meaning priced to the market, not priced to the comp plan. They all have a high PV price ratio. So it's not only good for the distributor because it has a great PV, but it's also good for the consumer because the price is comparable to any product that competes with us, not just in the MLM business, but in the market as a whole. So that is for the US. Then we launched products in Brazil. We pre-launched products in Brazil too. And we launched some products also in Taiwan and some products in the Greater China, as we call it. So, as a matter of fact, we launched more products this year than any year before. I think we have probably double the products this year than we had last year. In terms of products by itself, not SKUs, right? Not the kits.
Right.
And not forgetting that before Core, we launched Rest and Balance, which was not in this year, but it was last year, at the end of last year.
So tell me about, Mo, tell me about some future projects as far as product development that we're looking at.
Well, we've talked about that a lot, you and I, and we also share with our distributors, some of them. We need to be as broad as possible, but also as surgical as possible, in the sense we cannot launch products that are just products. We need to launch products that make a difference to the consumer, make a difference to the distributor, and at the end, will make a difference for the company. And we know that derm products are very important.
So skincare products.
Skincare products are very important. As a matter of fact, you were in Brazil when we pre-launched in Brazil the skincare line for Brazil, which is going to be different than a skincare line in almost any other country. Europe, US for sure, totally different climate, strong winters, different needs.
Well, I can tell you the Brazilians were dancing on the tables when we announced that we were going to have
I
a
bet
skincare, personal care line there.
They normally dance anyway.
Well,
but yeah, right.
They were really excited.
But yeah, I imagine they do because I mean the skincare line brings a more usable product, if you allow me to say that word. I mean, in the sense that it's easier to create a broader customer base.
Certainly.
And but you cannot launch any skincare product. Let's be clear here. There's a lot of competition out there. I spent, and you did too, but most of my professional life dealing with cosmetics and skincare products, and really competition is tough there, very tough. So we need to have a product that makes sense, and that's what we are developing. And by the second semester of 2015, we should be ready for that.
And there are certainly some people who are, what should I say, upset that we're not specifically using a technology that was brought to us. Is that safe to say?
It is. Well, yeah. Do you want me to explain why we're not using it?
Yeah. Well, so this technology got brought to us. This company thought it was great, but you had some reservations about it.
Yeah. The first one was legal. It was a legal reservation. I mean, we found out that the company that brought this technology to us is not the owner of the patent of that product. They own a patent that is linked to the extraction of the product. I mean, it's not for the product itself. That's the first thing. And yeah, we have some contracts where we get some protection, but you never know. I mean, I prefer to be protected, and I prefer to make sure that our company is protected and safe.
But beyond that, was it a technology that you're a scientist. You have a PhD, right? Did you as a scientist say that this is a technology I think will work?
You know, stem cells are something that everybody talks about. And when that happens, some bad things could happen because, this product in particular is not being proven in a topical way. So there's no published literature that shows that this product has any effect when it's administered in a topical way. I mean,
so the specific ingredient.
Exactly.
There's no scientific proof that when put into a topical product.
Exactly. That active principle or ingredient, as you call it, is not being proven to be absorbed through the skin and to have any effect on the telomerase, which is basically what the technology was all about. And telomerase works on stem cells. So, yeah, we're trying to make a new MLM here. We're trying to make a new industry where we can prove what we say. I mean, I know that in the past, some companies decided to launch a product with a good story behind, and well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and then we make money with it. Well, that's not our style. That's not my style. That's not Paul's style. That's not our style as a company. And definitely, I don't know, could be good for others. But if it cannot be proved that it works, why should I tell the story? It has been proven in other ways, but not in the way we were going to sell it. So
for the good of our distributors, for the good of our customers, we decided that it was not an ingredient that we wanted to go after.
No, absolutely.
That we wanted to develop further.
No, unless we prove it works. And that takes some years, though, because proving is not just writing a paper. Proving is publishing the paper. It's proving and then get published. Get approved by the community, scientist community, that what you're saying is true. Filling a paper or filling an Excel sheet is very easy, right? What you need to have is something behind it, and then going to the scientific community, and the scientific community needs to accept it, and that is the only way to do that, publishing. Show me 3, 4, 5 clinical trials published in decent magazines. To me, that is proven.
Sounds like responsible management. So tell me, we talked about stabilizing sales, Mo, but is the company bringing new leaders in? Are we recruiting new people?
Well, Mint is. Talking about the U.S. And Brazil. where Mint is happening. Let's talk about Europe, for example. Italy was launched this year, all new leaders, and was for a while the largest country in Europe. So we're bringing new leaders there. We are bringing some new leaders in Japan that I'm talking to right now. Now, going back to the US, well, last year I almost had no interviews with new leaders.
So in 2013, it was pretty quiet around here.
Yeah, I don't remember, probably one or two. This year, every single day, I'm presented or introduced to a new candidate. In most of the cases, they become leaders. And you'll see in January, lots of new faces. And this is because Mint is bringing a new way of doing business.
In fact, today, didn't you interview there's a leader right now in the executive boardroom where you talked with today.
That's correct. I mean, well, let me tell you some stories then. If you want stories, yesterday, before Christmas, I interviewed like 5 in 2 days, the 2 days before Christmas. But the funny thing is that the day I got married September the 2nd.
December the 2nd.
September the 2nd.
September the 2nd, that's right.
In the same day, I interviewed 3 leaders.
The morning you got married.
Yes.
But we're glad you made it to your wedding.
Yeah.
in spite of that. So there are new people in this building every day.
Every day.
Why are they coming? Why do you think they're coming? Why are new leaders attracted?
Let's face it. The MLM industry is changing. Better. We are making it. We're part of this change. And I don't want to say that we are the leaders of the change, but it might even be. But it's changing. I mean, the old days where only thing you wanted is to be reaching a day, and doesn't matter what happened to the people that were with you that are gone. And the days that the industry could give us success in a week are gone, and people don't trust that anymore. People want to have a sustainable, increasing income. People need to believe what we say. So we need to tell the truth. We cannot sell expectations that cannot be met. Because today, and this is something obvious, but with social media, a lie will last a second because everybody will know. So Mint brings right expectations, brings recruiting with retention. We want to have leaders, not recruiters. What is the difference between one and the other? The recruiter is the one who brings a person in and doesn't care about that person anymore once the person already signed in. A true leader is the one that walk with people during the journey and make them develop. And obviously we have a lot of good, extremely good leaders that come from the old days. And those are the ones that keep on growing. Those are the ones that keep on growing. I mean, believe it or not, we have 3 or 4 leaders that have been with us for a long, long time that made and make a lot of money. We paid every week to them big checks, but they are working like the first day in a Mint way, and they are happy as the first day. So it's like they started their career again. People that have been in this industry for a long, long time, and they're very much experts. Now they understand that there's a new way of doing things. And this new way of doing things is good for the newcomer, and it's good for the oldie, for the one who's been with us for a long, long time that we appreciate a lot. So,
in fact, let me share with you just an anecdote here. This is one of our old leaders. Unfortunately, Randy Schrader, who's decided to leave us, but Randy himself, in a social media post that we saw on November 24th, so just 1 month ago, this is what Randy said. He said, "I've been sent social media posts where my name is used in recruiting away from MonaVie. That is not at all appropriate. I am a Royal Black Diamond. I get paid at my rank each week. My check has gone up 25% in the past year."
well,
clearly that's someone who's seeing success, right?
I raised my case. Yeah. But again, we have a lot of new leaders, as you asked me, and I said, yes, we do. We have a lot of don't want to call them all leaders, but
No,
leaders.
established leaders.
Established, very senior leaders with us that have had and still have tremendous success. And when they see what Mint is all about, they are happy and ready to go again. I had a very good conversation with a very important leader here in my office 4 days ago, before Christmas.
Last week, just before
Yeah,
Christmas.
And this is a guy who understands the business. And we're talking about strategy, and he said, "Hey, Mo, I mean, this looks fine. This looks like to do it again, right?" So, whatever. We have a place to stay, definitely, and leaders are coming.
So finally, Mo, I'd like you to react to the claim that that we rejected Randy's proposed solutions here at the company. Is that true? Did we reject those solutions? And if so, why did we reject them?
That's true, very much so. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, there's only one CEO, and that's me. I listen to everybody, but if there's something that I do not agree or it goes too far away from our values and what we're proposing, I will not accept it. The solutions that are being proposed were sometimes trying to do the same and getting different results. Randy was part of the management team some years ago. So, no, we're trying to do things different here. So yeah, it is true. And it is because I don't agree. And as a matter of fact, my team doesn't agree. And as a matter of fact, I guess that many distributors don't either, because if we have new distributors because of the new strategic direction we're taking, I can safely say that they agree with the direction we're taking. So taking a different direction would be against our beliefs, against the values we're trying to bring up to the table, against the new MLM we're trying to create, and against the distributors' ideas that are coming into the company because of the new direction. So it is true, yeah.
Well, Mo, thank you for your time today. I want to thank all of you for taking time to listen and hopefully share this video with many others. We wanted to take just a minute and share with you what I believe is an open and honest dialogue about the questions that have been asked about the company, about where we are today and where we're headed. MonaVie and Mint have a great future. We're excited about what's happening here. We're excited about all of the strategic plans that Mo and the team here has put in place, and about the new distributors that are coming and the success that our existing distributors are seeing as we move forward. We're really excited about 2015 and look forward to working with all of you to make it a great success. So again, thank you very much and a Happy New Year.